Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kylie. Um, Today we're going to be talking all about contouring and bronzing, so let's go. Let's talk. One of the biggest questions that we've gotten in the makeup group that I run with my friend on Facebook is the difference between contouring and bronzing, or how to contour. So that is what we're going to talk about today. Contouring and bronzing, first of all, are very different things. I can see where they get confused. First, let's tell you what contouring is. The goal of contouring is to sculpt and define your face by mimicking shadows. So if you can see right here, there's a shadow running along my cheekbones. And when I suck my cheeks in, that shadow gets elongated. We want to mimic those shadows. That's just a shadow. That's not makeup. So we want to mimic those, so no matter where we go, we will have those shadows to make our face look sculpted. It'll make our cheekbones look higher. You can make your nose smaller, your forehead smaller. It makes your face look like another face. So it's pretty cool. So that's what contouring is. Bronzing is giving yourself a tan, pretty much. It is just adding color to your face and giving you a sun-kissed glow. That's it. I think what's most confused about contouring and bronzing are the products used. So I'm going to show you the differences and tell you the differences between contouring products and bronzing products. Because although the tones are kind of the same, or the colors, are similar, they're also very different. So let's just get into it. First of all, contour shades are cool tone. So they are your more cool gray taupey shades. Whereas a bronzing shade...
I'm sorry, my arms are all over.
Bronzing shade is going to be more warm tone, orangey shades. Hence the tan. I know it's not going to be like Cheeto orange, but they are more warm tone. The problem people have when trying to find a contour shade for them is if they have too dark a skin or too light of skin, the contour shade, if it is not in the right shade range for you, it can look too gray, which will make you look ashy and dead-like. So if that happens, then it is just the wrong shade for you and you need to get a different shade range of the contour. So let's take a look at a couple contour shades first. This here is the, what is it? Highlight and Contour Palette by IBY Beauty. It came in my BoxyCharm. So down here, these are your contour shades. If you can tell, these are more, right here, it's more gray tone and taupey. These are the same, they're just darker. So this would be more my shade. This I use for basically, like I'll use this one to sculpt in the normal areas, which I'll show you later. And then I'll use the darker tone to define up here a little bit more and give it more definition. That was a powder contour shade. I'm going to show you creams real quick. Again, they are very gray, taupey, cool tone brown shades up here. Now I'll show you a bronzer so you can see there is a difference. This here is a bronzer. These are a more orangey, and these have shimmers in it. That is another thing. Your contour shades should not have any shimmers in it at all. A bronzer can. The reason that you don't want shimmer in your contour is because your contour is supposed to be a shadow. When you highlight your face, you're placing highlights on the high points of your face. Those can have glitter or shine to it because it's brightening. So you don't want brightening stuff in your shadows. Does that make sense? Another bronzer, this one is from Physicians Formula. It's their butter bronzer. This is in a palette though, and it's broken. So I just want to show it to you because this is one of my all-time favorite bronzers in the entire world. It's cheap and it's fantastic. So this one right here, is the butter bronzer by Physicians Formula. First of all, it smells like coconut. Second of all, it's amazing. The reason I love it so much is because it's subtle enough to where it just blends in fantastic and it's not overpowering. So you can use it underneath your contour and I think you can tell enough of a difference between the two. Another bronzer, a good bronzer, is the Benefit Hoola bronzer. This is the Hoola Light. So right now this is too light for me, but they have a regular shade as well. So this one does, to me, look a little more cool tone, and I have used this as a contour. So I think that just depends on your the shade, your skin tone, because like I said, your skin tone does affect what color you're going to be choosing for your contour. So hopefully now you can be able to tell the difference between a contour shade and a bronzer shade. Again, cool tones versus warm tones. That's pretty much all you need to know. And shimmery versus non-shimmery. When picking out both a bronzer and a contour shade, you want to go typically 1 to 2 shades darker than what your skin tone is, because you want to be able to see the difference in it, especially with your contour. But you don't want to go too dark to where it's not going to blend in very well. And if it's too dark, then you can get the chance of it muddying up when you're trying to blend. Okay, I'm quickly going to talk about the difference between cream products and powder products when it comes to contouring, and then I will show you how to contour and bronze on the face. So first off, cream contour and powder contour. I've talked about it before. Dry skin, creams are always going to be better for you just because it's a cream and not more powders on top of your face. So I really love the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. I got this at TJ Maxx for like 12 bucks. So it's amazing. I love it. Yeah. Another thing that you could use instead of buying a separate kit is a foundation. You can get a foundation shade that is 1 to 2 shades darker. It can be the liquid foundation or whatever, and you can use that. The only problem is make sure you find a cool tone foundation. Don't go to the warm tones. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation in the shade Fawn. I also found this at TJ Maxx, but you can see this is really cool tone. So I use this a lot as well. If you have oily skin, you can still use the cream products. They'll work for anybody. It's just if you have dry skin, a cream is going to work better for you. Wow, I can't talk right now. You can mix both powders and creams together if you want to go in first with a cream contour and then the powder on top. I usually do that. I'll do the cream, and then after I set my face with a setting powder, then I'll go in with the powder contour. I'm going to mention another quick contour kit that's really great and drugstore price. This is the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro Palette. This has 4 lighter shades and then 4 contour shades, I think. Yeah. So as you can see, this one is rather cool tone. That's the one I stick with most. These are all pretty cool tone. Some darker just to create more dimension on the face, or if you have a darker skin tone. I will say that powders are best if you are new at contouring. They're a lot easier to blend out and more forgiving. So if you are a beginner, I definitely try powders first before you dive into creams. Okay, so when applying contour and bronzer, I always apply my bronzer first. The reason is when you apply a contour, you want your contour to be precise. You want it to stay exactly where you put it, because if you place a shadow down here and drag it down, you can look like you have a beard, or you can make your face look a lot more droopy, make your cheekbones look a lot lower than what they are. So you have to be careful with the placement of your contour. If you place your contour first and then your bronzer, a bronzer, you don't have to focus it in one spot. You can be more willy-nilly with it. If you place your contour first and then your bronzer on top and you're mixing around, you have the chance of moving your contour around. So I always place my bronzer first, but that is total preference. I'm going to try this one by the Bronze Essentials. It's by Beauty Basics. It's another one that I got in the BoxyCharm. Brushes that you use for bronzing are typically big and fluffy. This is the biggest and fluffiest one I have right now. This one as well. Anything big and fluffy, it'll work. I'm going to use this black one. This is from Aesthetica. It's the P12 brush. So I'm just going to sweep it in here, tap off any of the excess. Excuse you. With bronzer, you want it to look like you got a natural tan, so you would put it in the places that the sun would naturally hit. So kind of in the places that you would highlight, I just mix it in the areas of where you highlight and contour. So I'm going to start over here and just fluff it all about. That's why you can be more willy-nilly with a bronzer and it doesn't have a secure place. But you also don't want it over the entire face. So I'm hoping that all makes a little bit of sense. So I'm only focusing it more towards the outside. That's basically where I do my bronzer when I do my bronzer. Not a huge difference. I don't like to go too heavy on the bronzer. If you can go too heavy, you can turn out looking orange. So I just go with a really light hand just to bring a tiny bit of color to my face so it's not so blank. That's another reason for highlighting and contouring and bronzing, is to bring the dimension back to your face. If you just do a blank canvas of foundation and that's it, you just look very flat. And I don't like looking flat. I like to look like I have dimension. I'm gonna go in this contour palette, the one by IBY Cosmetics. Now with contouring, like I said before, you want to be precise with where you put it, so you want to use a smaller brush. You are also going to use a fluffy brush. For my contour, I'm going to use the Luxie 660 Precision Foundation Brush and this IBY contour palette. So the places that you contour basically are everywhere that there are natural shadows. So like I said before, you're going to contour here, your cheekbones, and if you can't see that natural shadow, suck in your cheeks and you basically follow in that divot right there. The other places that I go are right along the forehead here. If you have a larger forehead, you can contour more and the shadows will make your forehead look a little smaller. If you have a small forehead and you want to make it look a little bit bigger, that's when you highlight a lot more up on the forehead. So hopefully that makes sense. I also contour along the jawline and the nose. So let's just get into it. So I'm going to use this lighter shade here first. And I like to start at where your ear begins, follow, like I said, I mean, you can see my line already. And then I typically end it where where the edge of my eye is, and that's how far I'll go out. Now, when you blend it, like I said before, you don't want to drag it down because you don't want to have a beard or a 5 o'clock shadow, and you don't want to make your cheekbones be drugged down either. So when you blend, either just blend back and forth this way, or if you have to, blend it up, not down, because that'll actually make your cheekbones look a little higher. Okay, so can you see the difference right now? I'm not sure. Well, I can in my mirror, so hopefully you can. Then I will typically go in with this darker shade and then go along just really near my ear. And then that just brings more dimension to the shadow that I'm creating. So same thing with the other side. Back into the lighter shade, I'm gonna go along my jawline. I like to put it right here as well because I like to define my chin back out again. And this will help hide your double chins if you have any. And you want to make sure when you blend it back and down your neck. All right. That's it for the face, but now if you want to contour your nose or your mouth to make your lips look bigger, you need to switch to a smaller brush, small blending tapered brush, and I'm just going to go in with that same light shade. Now the places you want to contour with your lips, you can see right here there's already a natural shadow, if I run my brush along there, that's going to it's going to make my lips look a little more pouty and bigger. There. Now I'm going to go in with that same shade and we're going to do the bridge of the nose. Now with the nose, you can already see a little bit of the darkness that runs down the side of my nose. I'm going to follow that. If you want to make your nose look smaller, you just bring in that shadow closer to each other. Does that make sense? I pretty much just follow along the already shadow, but I make sure it's straight. If you have a crooked nose, you can make it look straighter by creating a fake straight line with your contour. And I take that all the way up to the eyebrow and blend it down and out. Now, if you have a longer nose and want to make it look shorter, you place the contour on the tip of your nose. And if you want a longer looking nose, you can leave it like this, or you can angle it down. All right, so right now for me, this looks harsh. So I'm going to take my Beauty Blender and just pounce over top of it to fade it out a little more. There, I think that looks a little better. So that is it, contoured. Hopefully you can see a difference. I know in the camera right now, this line looks super harsh, but in person it is blended out, I promise. So that is my contour. I know I went through that really quickly. There was a lot of information in there. I know I'm missing a lot of information as well, but if you have any questions, just please leave them in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and let me know what you want to see next. Otherwise, we will just see you in the next video. Bye.